Let's talk about these talks between the three party leaders in government, Micheál Martin, Leo Varadkar and Eamon Ryan, and the Minister for Agriculture, Charlie McConalogue, to try and find an agreeable target for the agricultural sector when it comes to cutting carbon emissions. We know it had to be between 22% and 30% as per the government's own climate action plan, and there may be white smoke. Our political correspondent Sean Defoe joins me now. Sean, what can you tell us?
Hey, Kieran, yeah, and that range had indeed narrowed in the last couple of days as the negotiations got towards the end. It had narrowed to a position where Charlie McConalogue, the Agriculture Minister, was going no higher than 24%, and the Environment Minister, Eamon Ryan, was going lower than 26%. And shock and horror, they have split the difference and gone for 25%, slap bang in the middle of where those two positions were. That's the proposal that went to party leaders in the last half hour. They have all now signed off on it, and as we speak, the cabinet ministers are being rung around in an incorporeal meeting. They're all over the country in different areas to ensure that they are on board and get their assent for it. So 25% is going to be the target for agriculture. Not quite as high as some of the climate campaigners would have wanted, certainly on the lower end of that 22 to 30 scale that we have had. But I suppose this is where they thought they could get it done politically at least, and it should be an announcement hopefully in the next sort of hour or two, confirming not only for the agriculture sector what it's going to be at 25%, but then also all the other ranges: electricity, transport, buildings, industry and enterprise as well. Now,
of course, the great backdrop to all of this is that targets are just that, they're targets. There's nothing to say anybody will ever actually meet them, and we've failed to meet them in lots of other regards when it comes to carbon emissions, but that's a different debate. Might there be any pushback, Sean, within the Green Party over 25%? Because you're right, the mantra over recent days from environmentalists and from within the Green Party itself has been, if they don't agree to the full 30%, then you've got to go back to energy, to industry, to housing, to transport and make up the shortfall there.
Yeah, I think it's probably a deal that is going to see nobody overly happy, but quite typically the deals that work politically are the deals where no one comes away overly triumphant as well. Farmers still have to go beyond that 22% that they said they could maybe do 22, couldn't really do a huge amount higher, so they are going to have to go beyond that. I don't think, certainly on the hard end, the Green Party and different groups like Friends of the Earth are going to be particularly happy with this. The Social Democrats, again, this morning were saying it needs to be 30%. We need to fully address this. So I don't think you're going to see people on either side particularly happy with it, but it is right in that range where it is higher than perhaps the agriculture lobby wanted. It might have been as good as they could have got. So if they want it done, they'll stay on board, is sort of the attitude that some of them are taking. Because you have to remember, despite all the noise from the Green Party this week and the likes of Pauline O'Reilly sort of hinting at the fact that they'd have to consider their position in government, a lot of the TDs that I talk to are fairly sure they're not winning back their seats next time, no matter what they do, and that they have this one-term shot at actually making substantial change, and that 25 might be lower than what they wanted, but it is still better than what they had before this government came into place. The key, though, as you mentioned at the very start there, it's a target at the end of the day. And the more people I spoke to this week, particularly on the backbenches, were saying, look, does it really matter where we land between 24 and 26? Because we've never made it happen to date. And if we get anywhere near it, it will be huge, huge progress. So a lot of scepticism that even these numbers are going to be met. And I don't think you're going to see anyone really all that happy out of this deal.
Yeah, I have to confess, I'm in that sceptical bracket myself. I don't think there's a chance in the wide earthly world we're getting anywhere near 25%. They could have stuck the target anywhere they want, thrown a dart at the dartboard, and it wouldn't have made a blind bit of difference. Anyway, we will ask Darragh O'Brien, Minister for Housing, about this issue, I'm sure, after 5 o'clock. Sean Defoe, thanks a million for that update.